και φύγαμε από την παραλία της Μαρμπέλα που ήμασταν εκεί περίπου εδώ για να πάμε τον δρόμο. Δεν μπαίναμε τον παραλιακό γιατί ήταν πάρα πολύ αργός δρόμος, μπαίναμε τον κεντρικό, δεν έβλεπες πάρα πολύ θάλασσα, ήταν όμορφες διαδρομές, ήταν γύρω στα 80 χιλιόμετρα μέχρι να καταλήξουμε στο Γιβραλτάρ. Στο Γιβραλτάρ μας έβαζαν την πληροφορία να μην μπούμε μέσα, θα το συνιστούμε και αυτό και σε εσάς. Παρκάρεις έξω από το Γιβραλτάρ, ακόμα στην Ισπανία, και από εκεί περνάς με τα πόδια μέσα στο Γιβραλτάρ, γιατί μέσα στο Γιβραλτάρ δεν υπάρχει μέρος να παρκάρεις. Οπότε αφήσαμε το αμάξι μας κάπου εδώ σε ένα μεγάλο πάρκινγκ και μετά πήγαμε με τα πόδια, όπου εκεί πήραμε ένα πολύ μικρό βανάκι, χώρα γύρω στα 10 άτομα μέσα, και μας πήγε σε όλο το Γιβραλτάρ, μας το γύρισε και μας άφησε εκεί. Ήταν μια πάρα πολύ ωραία εκδρομή, τη συνιστούμε. Άμα θες να το βρεις στο Γιβραλτάρ σε μια μέρα, είναι η μόνη λύση. Αμάξι μην πάρετε, προτιμήστε να πάτε με ένα τέτοιο ταξιδιωτικό γραφείο να σας πάει να δείτε τα σημαντικότερα. Βέβαια ήταν λίγος ο χρόνος, αλλά δεν είχαμε και περισσότερο. Παρκάραμε τα αμάξι και θα πάμε στο βράχο. Θα μπούμε Γιβραλτάρ. Γλάρι, ναι. Και εγώ αν ήμουν γλάρος εδώ θα ερχόμουν. Φανταστικά είναι. Μόνο που νιώθεις που είσαι, αν δεν πιάνεις. Θα περάσουμε τα πόδια τώρα, για να δούμε. Μας είπαν ότι είναι πιο εύκολο να περάσουμε τα πόδια παρά με το αυτοκίνητο. Και όντως βλέπετε το πώς σίγουρα έχουν το αυτοκίνητο. Ενώ με τα πόδια λέει δεν έχεις πρόβλημα, οπότε παρκάραμε εδώ. Θα πάμε με τα πόδια. Θα δούμε. Πίσω Ισπανία, πίσω Αφρική, Γιβραλτάρ. Δεν σε ελέγχουν, αλλά δεν έχει λίγο πάρκινγκ στο Γιβραλτάρ, οπότε καλύτερα να πας με τα πόδια. Πάμε να δούμε. Περάσαμε τον πρώτο έλεγχο και εδώ πάει για Γιβραλτάρ. Πήγαμε. Ελάτε παιδιά, περιμένει ο άνθρωπος, Πάμε στις μαϊμούδες. We are ready, thank you. Ήρθαμε στο Gibraltar και φεύγουμε. Μας πήρε ένας τρελός και θα μας πάει βόλτα τώρα, για να δούμε. Θα γελάσουμε. Μπήκαμε στο τρελό καμιόνι. Κορίτσια, όλα καλά. Αγάπη, χωρέ να κάτσεις. Κάτω και εδώ, δεν κάτσεις που κάτω, δεν χρειάζεται την κρατάς. Έτοιμοι είμαστε. Φεύγουμε.
Find that in Gibraltar we do speak English and Spanish fluently. Our schools, our laws, science, everything's in English. Same curriculum as UK. The only thing we don't have typically British is that we drive on the right side of the road.
That's good.
That's because we changed in 1929 from left to right. It was easier for us to drive like Europe, less problems. Now this is our terminal because we get 7 flights every day from England.
Oh, 7?
Now Spain is across there, although Gibraltar is 32,000, the population. We get a lot of Spanish workers commute across the border every day. They come to work here and then they go back to Spain. We get an average of 13 to 14,000 Spanish workers. They come to work every day and then they go back to Spain. Now, about a month ago, we could actually drive across the airfield, but not anymore now. Now there's a tunnel, we're going around the actual runway, but people can actually walk across, pedestrians and bicycles, but no traffic and motorbikes are allowed anymore. We've been doing that for millions of years, but now we've got to go around. They've stopped cars going across the airfield. driving through here, and all the land I'm going to show you has been reclaimed land over many, many years. Gibraltar today is classified as a peninsula, but it used to be an island. We broke out from Africa, not from Spain. Gibraltar was an island. It's only 14 miles across from Gibraltar to Africa, which is the first stop we're going to do, but I'm going to get your tickets, and I'll show you, you've got the Atlantic on one side, the Mediterranean on the other. But it's only 23 kilometers, 14 miles. But we'll stop there so you can take some photos. If you need to go to the bathroom, there are toilets there. When we get to the caves, there are also bathrooms there, okay? Now, a lot of people look at the north face of the rock here, but they think it's the highest point because the height of the rock is 426 meters. But a lot of people think the north face is the highest point, but it's not. It's actually the center part. There's a satellite dish going past the cable car station, which I'll show you later. Although we cannot drive up there, but you'll find that it's the highest point. The center part of the rock is the highest point. The actual sea used to come up to here, to the wall, to the actual rock here. See? This was all water. Yeah, we've been reclaiming land for many years. There's an area we did about 35 years ago, which was done by a Dutch company with the government of Gibraltar. But obviously, a lot of land has been reclaimed over many, many years. See, the sea used to come up to the actual rock. One of the tunnels we're going to see later, they've got potholes and guns, because ships used to try and attack through this side, so they could fire down with the ships, with the cannons. Now, I'm going to go back in history, right? The first people who actually conquered the Rock of Gibraltar were the Arabs. This was first Arabic. It gets its name out of an emperor called Tariq, and Gibral means piece of rock in Arabic. So they used to call it the Rock of Gibraltar. But then over the years it became Gibraltar. Then the Arabs lost it to Spain through battles. It became Spanish for over 100 years. But then in 1704, Gibraltar became British. There was a treaty called the Treaty of Utrecht. There was no battles between Great Britain and Spain. There was a treaty, it was a signed agreement, and the Spanish gave it away for life. But the British, what they did was a trade. In 1704, you had Minorca, was British, but Mallorca was Spanish. So they traded it for Gibraltar. They stayed with Minorca, we stayed with Gibraltar. But unfortunately, there's still a big problem with politics. They want this to be Spanish and we want to stay British. So it's been an ongoing thing for more than 300 years. The thing is with Spain is that they have two colonies in Africa. They've got a place called Ceuta and Melilla. Both of them Spanish, but in Morocco. But they never talk about that. They always talk about Gibraltar. You know? We tell them, look, what about Ceuta and Melilla? No, that's a different kettle of fish. What do you mean? You're telling me that this should be Spanish because we're near to Spain, and you've got two colonies in Africa, you know? But anyhow, the Spanish are like that. What can we do? We won't change them. Now, these apartments I'm going to show you now, this was reclaimed for 35 years ago. All these new blocks of flats you see here, all those new blocks of flats are all the ones you can see all the way down. That was built for 35 years ago. Now, Main Street shopping starts from down here. It's called Casement Square. You've got bars, restaurants, and it's the beginning of Main Street. But Main Street is pedestrianised, and shops are open here all day. No siesta in Gibraltar. We stay open all day. Yeah, we have to do business. You can't close from 2 to 5. And there's part of the wall, which you're going to see some cannons along here, to give you an idea of how they used to protect the wall. See? Cannons? Everything that's outside the wall has been reclaimed. But this is a parallel road to Main Street. We also have an outer road. We also find that we do have a big problem with cars, too many cars. I know it's a worldwide thing, but in such a small little place, it's amazing. That's why you find a lot of mopeds. People use mopeds to go to work and back and forth. Now, although Gibraltar, there's no VAT, so cigarettes, booze, petrol, perfume is cheaper, but water, electricity, accommodations is more expensive. The cost of living here is higher than across the border. Wages are parity with England. Remember, Gibraltar is all sterling, but people will take shops and bars, they will take euros. For
Φτάσαμε στην άκρη του κόσμου.
Και τότε κόσμο.
Αυτές εδώ είναι οι συμπληγάδες πέτρες που είμαστε τώρα εδώ από ό,τι βλέπετε. Συμπληγάδες πέτρες. Ένα απίθανο σημείο για να έχεις φτάσει. Ένα απίθανο σημείο να έχεις φτάσει.
Παπά, θα μου δώσεις...
The Modern World, βλέπεις. Και πού είμαστε τώρα.
Είμαστε...
Και πάλι στο κέντρο είμαστε.
Εκεί που λέει Cape Town.
Πού είμαστε τώρα. Ποια.
Στη μέση.
Στη
μέση του κόσμου.
Εντάξει, ο καθένας μπορεί να πει την η μέση του κόσμου.
It is 14 miles, 23 kilometers. The left is the entrance to the Med. The right is Atlantic. This is what we call the Straits of Gibraltar. Those mountains are called the Tariq Mountains. Then they become the Atlas Mountains. But this is what we call the Straits of Gibraltar. That little mountain there with the town, it's in Africa, but it's called Ceuta. It's Spanish. It's a Spanish colony. Now you've got Algeciras. Round the back is Tarifa. They do a lot of windsurfing there. That's the way up to Cadiz, Sevilla.
Bombarderas Africa, και είναι Αφρική.
And you'll see ferries going across. Now they go up to Tangiers, take about an hour and a quarter, and there's ferries that go across to Ceuta, take about 35 minutes. Now all this area here, going back 30 years ago, was military. We used to have different battalions. They used to come here for 1 or 2 years. They were based here with families. But that's all gone now. I suppose it costs too much money to keep them here nowadays. So all this land was given back to government to alleviate housing. Now all this belongs to the Gibraltar government. Because it is the biggest problem we have, land. We don't have enough land. Now, you see these big tankers here? Yeah. They're on this side, right? This is British waters. We have 3.5 miles territorial waters. Spain has another 3.5, and you have the international waters. But these tankers, they come to Gibraltar to fill up with diesel, buy whiskey, cigarettes, because there's no VAT. You see the little ones, the blue on the side? They go to Spain. They fill up with diesel. As it's for Gibraltar, 19% less. They don't pay VAT. So they come to this side, and the tankers, they fill up here. So it's cheaper for them to fill up than if they go to Spain. So it's, we both make money. They sell diesel, and we sell the diesel as well. So we make a profit as well. But all these tankers, cruise liners, super yachts, they mostly come to Gibraltar to fill up with diesel, yes, because unfortunately it's cheaper here. And this monument I was telling you about, the Pillars of Hercules, it's a myth. Hercules put 2 pillars apart. But Gibraltar used to belong to Africa, same type of rock. So when it broke up, it became an island. And today it's linked up to Spain because of the airport. But when we go to the other side, I'll show you the runway and everything. It's got a nice view from there. So take a few pictures.
Αυτό ότι φτάσαμε σε αυτό το σημείο. Ήταν ενωμένο, παιδιά, αυτό. Είπε ο κύριος, δεν υπήρχε θάλασσα. Ήταν ενωμένα αυτό το βουνό, με αυτό το βουνό ήταν ενωμένα και έσπασε και μπήκε το νερό μέσα για να δημιουργηθεί όλη η Μεσόγειος θάλασσα. Ίσως γι' αυτό και τότε και βούλιαξε και η Ατλαντίδα, ποιος ξέρει. Από τότε μπορεί να έχουν γίνει όλα αυτά. Good, thank you. Έλα, μπείτε.
But there were no roads, there were footpaths in those days. But later on during the Second World War, they built the roads so they could bring heavy artillery up and down. They used to bring all cannons and supplies from the bottom. They had horses and mules, but they needed some leverage to hold it while they were from one end to the other. You'll see them all the way to the top and down. But they still have to be fed on a daily basis.
Κατεβαίνουμε, φτάσαμε. Μας άφησε εδώ για 20 λεπτά για να πάμε να δούμε λίγο τους μαϊμούδες.
Το σπήλιο άκουσα τι είναι.
Α, το σπήλιο είπε.
Το σπήλιο πάμε τώρα.
Να τους ο μαϊμούς. Θες μας πω κανένα κάμερα τώρα. Ορμάνε στο φαγητό λέει, πάρα πολύ. Πάμε κορίτσια, έλα. Να τι λέει. Έλα.
Ήδη είναι η κόλληση.
Βγάλε με μια. Βγάλε με αγάπη. Κι άλλος. Βγάλε με.
Έλα, έλα, γύρω Νικόλ.
Φτάσαμε στην είσοδο. Μπαίνουμε στην είσοδο του σπηλαίου.
Το δικό του στανάζι.